Welcome back to my channel. Oh, Fergie would like to welcome you back as well. We are actually finally going to be doing my Feed the Horses vlog. So I'm not a vet, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not like a specialist, but I am obsessed with Googling, and I am obsessed with, learning about what's good for horses, what they need, and I have a couple horses, well, mostly just the one with, some special tummy stuff going on. So I've done lots of Googling, and what I am going to film today is just what works for my horses. If, and I have spoken to my vet about some things for the horse that has tummy stuff. So if there's anything that you're interested in from my video, then I would highly recommend you either, do your own research, make sure you get credible sources, or talk to your vet or a nutritionist and all that stuff. But I'm really, really excited to show you guys what I feed because I'm like slightly obsessed with it. So let's hop to. So just whoop, the dogs almost took me out at the top of the stairs. So basically I have my Beet Pulp and my hay cubes at the house for soaking because it's winter in Canada. You'll see all the snow when we go outside. So I soak my Beet Pulp and my hay cubes in the house. I just do hot water. It takes like 15 minutes. So while they soak, I kind of get layered up to go out, and then we go start the actual feeding routine. So let me scoop this stuff out and then I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. Basically, I have one of these scoops. I don't know what it says. It's a 2-quart scoop. So I soak about 3/4 of a scoop of each. So I know that you feed by weight. But like my feed program's rounded. They're only getting 1 feed a day. In the summertime, they'll get 2. So I can't make their one meal too big because that'll be too hard on their tummies. So we're gonna get this soaked and then we're gonna talk about it. So basically I use Beet Pulp and a premium Timothy hay pellet. So the reason I do that is because like my horses are on free choice hay 24/7, as much as they want, they can have as much as they want. But the hay cubes have a really nice protein value, and the Beet Pulp and the hay cubes combined is like a nice fiber for their tummy and their guts, and they just like it, to be perfectly honest. And plus when you feed, soaked food, easier way to get moisture in. Soaked food makes their supplements like mix in easier, so they're less likely to sift through the food and leave the powder, so it mixes it in all really nicely. So I just like it. It's just a lot of benefits. Plus when you get it from a feed store, the moisture is less, the dust is almost non-existent. It's just really nice quality, and it's a nice thing to have in their diet. So that's why I feed those 2 things. So here's a little glimpse at the amount of snow we have right now. It's just another February in Ontario. So the one thing I forgot to mention about the Timothy pellets or cubes and the Beet Pulp is that so my kind of whole feed program is structured so that it's very low sugar, low starch, like low NSC, good fats, good proteins, lots of fiber. So that's kind of like the things I keep in mind when I'm deciding what I want to incorporate into my horses' diets. And then I kind of go based on their individual needs, their health, their working level, anything that they need support. I kind of go from there. So the Beet Pulp I get is the no molasses, and I get pelleted, as you saw. My feed store has both molasses and non-molasses in both the pellet and the shredded form. I just went with pellet because I like pellet, but as far as I know, the shredded and the pellet both end up soaking the same. I don't know if the shredded maybe soaks faster, but like I said, it only takes about 15 minutes with hot water. So that's why I did that. And I chose Timothy over straight alfalfa or alfalfa Timothy just because of the sugar levels. I don't think there's a huge difference, but with what I have on my farm, the least amount of sugar possible is kind of what we go with. Their sugar they get from carrots. They get a lot of carrots. So, but I know that alfalfa is very, very high quality and very, very good for horses. So, and their hay is alfalfa. So I'm trying to kind of, you know, balance things across the scale. Look at these are mittens, by the way. Those are mittens. I have a lot of layers. I do not like to be cold. So anyway, so let's get into the feed room and go from there. Okay, so when I'm going to meal prep, I have these 3 buckets, which are the horses I bring inside. And I have these 3 buckets, which are the horses I feed outside. I have my soaked stuff. And then I kind of go around and open everything up. So I'll do that now, and then I'll explain. Okay, so this is what we look like. All opened up and ready to serve. The horses are going to kill me today because it's gonna take a while to feed them because I'm gonna explain as I go. Carrots, as I said, always have carrots. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I do have notes with me because I didn't want to mess anything up. So the first feed that I feed is Blue Seal's Sentinel Performance LS. It is an extruded feed. It is high fat and high fiber. It's good for horses with increased caloric requirements. So my hard keepers, if anybody has a rescue, anything like that. It is low starch, low sugar. Get ready to hear a lot of low starch, low sugar. As I mentioned, it's pretty important for me. It's also really good. So the reason I started feeding it is it's extruded and it's highly digestible. So Oliver, the one who I've been arguing with forever about feeding, which I'm really happy he's on a good program now. Anyway, so I initially got this for him because he had ulcers in the fall of 2019 and he did 2 rounds of omeprazole. I might be saying that wrong, but that one. So the reason I started feeding the Performance LS was for him, and now everybody gets a little bit. I do have a scale that I use to weigh their grain, and I know exactly how much each horse is getting. So I'm gonna dish that out, and then we'll move on to the next one. The next feed I have is Blue Seal Hardguard. So I have it it's like a little pellet. You can kind of see it there. So it's a nutritionally balanced grain. It is low starch, low sugar, high fat, high fiber, and it's just kind of like a nice general feed to add just for, you know, rounding out the grain. I've never had a problem with a horse eating it, and Oliver really likes it. So for him, when I'm trying to get calories on, having, you know, a good grain to incorporate is very important. So I'm gonna dish that one out and we'll move on. So that goes to Oliver. So you got it, and then the next feed I have is Hay Stretcher. I have it in the large pellets. So it's basically hay. Like, it's basically hay in a pellet form. Again, no moisture, less dust. You can soak it, you can feed it dry. I feed it dry. So yeah, so they like it. It's an easy add, and it just it gives them not too many more calories, but it gives them more of a meal without increasing sugar and, you know, craziness. So here we go. So now we come to my wall of feeding in cups. In the first bin, I have Equijewel Rice Bran. This is for Oliver only. It is to increase fat because he is a hard keeper. It's really easy on his tummy. So this is, and he really likes it. So this is for him to increase fat. In the next bin, I have Minivite Light from Blue Seal. It's basically all their vitamins. I only have to feed 1 to 2 cups per horse depending on their needs and their weight. It's a mineral and vitamin supplement designed to balance the nutritional deficiencies of grass or mixed grass, legume, hay, and pasture. So my horses are on outdoor pretty much year round. So this just gets them all their vitamins. There I've got stabilized ground flax seeds. So again, really good for omegas, really good for coat health, some extra fat, etc. So I'm gonna dish these out and then we'll move to supplements. Okay, woo! Okay. Okay, so same day, Jessie, I'm going back down to the barn in the afternoon because I was just editing the videos and I was like, that wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be. So I'm going back down to reorganize and re-video some of the clips, not all of them, but some of them. You'll be able to tell because the outfit has changed. It's actually quite mild in Ontario tonight. Well, my region anyway. So basically I just kind of spaced my stuff out a little bit and I'm gonna refilm my supplements. So I won't be showing you the supplements as they get put into the feed buckets because I'm refilming it after they've been fed. One thing I also wanted to note was because my horses, they're only getting fed once a day, and they're not quite at the recommended feed level for all of their grains, just because of, like I said, I can't give them like 20 pounds of food all at once. So that's why I give some supplements, just because I want to make sure, like the vitamins and minerals, I want to make sure that they get what they need, even if they're not getting the full volume of the recommended feed. So without further ado, let's revisit supplements. So supplements. So in the bin, I still have my Mad Barn supplements. So first up, I have the Optimum Digestive Health by Mad Barn. Oliver is on this. Currently only Oliver is on it. I do have the probiotic that Isabel and Zuna are gonna be on. This is because Oliver did have ulcers in 2019. He did 2 rounds of omeprazole, pronunciation possibly off. And then I did a 1 month round of the Visceral Plus in the fall, and then another round in 2020 springtime to bring him back of Visceral Plus. And then now he's on the Optimum Digestive Health and I love it. It's fantastic for him. Next is the W3 oil. It smells divine. The horses love it. Fantastic omegas, really good balance for them. I keep petting it. So yeah, so love this oil. This is just a small package of just their basic probiotic. I got it just for the girls to try. It's a very small amount. It says a blend of 5 strains of pure probiotics. So yeah, so I'm gonna try that for the girls, but everyone's pretty well supplemented and I won't be showing this here, so they might not need it, but love that. So this Mad Barn Omniety Premix is a super fortified vitamin and mineral. It is the 25 kilogram bag because I have multiple horses on it. It's like a fine powder. Kind of looks like that. So yeah, so I have Oliver on this, Isabel and Zuna. They get the recommended dose based on their weight. Yeah, so that is all the Mad Barn supplements. Love. I'm going to move on to some of the other supplements I have now that it's an orange. So let me just show you quick. So that's the bin that I've had forever and you've seen in other videos. I just rearranged my shelf here. So I've got my herbs for horses and the supplements I'm going to talk about on that shelf, and I just have some first aid stuff and kind of regular barn things. So let's talk about it. The first one I'm going to show you is the Herbs for Horses Hoofmaster. It is a pellet. All the horses, Oliver's really picky, so he doesn't eat it, but all the horses eat that. I've noticed it's really helped their feet out because I have a lot of horses that just need extra support with their hoof growth. Next, I have the Herbs for Horses Glucosamine Plus. So this is for my working horses. I just like to give them as much support in as many areas as I possibly can. The only one who won't eat this right now is Oliver. Like I said, he's the pickiest thing on the planet, but Isabel and Zuna eat it no problem. It's kind of like a powder. It's like, looks like that. Yeah, so the 2 girls are on that right now. If Wilbur and Brutus come back into work and they're not crazy, they'll also go on it. So that's that one. This is Finish Line Apple a Day Electrolytes. So my horses have a salt block outside always. When they come in, there is salt blocks in their stalls, but they don't stay in very often. So I like to supplement with an electrolyte, especially in the summer when they're losing a lot of their salts and stuff through sweat, even just standing around. We get pretty hot summers here, so especially working, you know, heat waves, etc. I just really like to supplement with electrolytes. I am unfortunately out since summer ended, but it is like a white, kind of like a granule powder, and they eat it, all of them, no problem. So love, love, love. So I got this a few years ago for Oliver. This is because he showed some like liver weakness. So milk thistle is just there to help support proper liver function. So I'm not currently feeding it, but I do have it. It's still good. The date's good on it. So sometimes I'll sprinkle a little bit, but no one's currently eating this as a part of their regular regime. So next, I do have the Herbs for Horses Feisty Mare. This was a bit of a test run for me. So I love the Herbs for Horses Simmer Down. When I first got Zuna, she was wild. And Oliver, he wasn't like uncontrollable wild. He was just so strong and so forward and so eager. I was having a hard time with all the zhuzh in them. So I was feeding Simmer Down just to like take the edge off a little bit. And they both did fantastically on it. I decided then to try Feisty Mare just on Zuna because Oliver, I had worked through, he didn't really need it anymore. I don't find this works for Zuna, but I actually give it to Brutus. So when he comes back into work in the spring, I kind of give this to him to help his brain kind of settle down and make things a little bit easier on them. So the Feisty Mare is okay. Like I said, I don't have anybody on it full time right now, but it is something I have fed, and I love the Simmer Down. So last but not least, I have Zenitude EQ. So it's another, I guess, calming type supplement, you could say. I got it again as like a test run for Zuna. I found it helped. I think honestly for me and her, a lot of it came down to us just building our partnership and kind of getting to know each other. So I don't have anybody on this right now, but it's kind of one of those things that like if I know it works, I'm happy to have it as long as it's good in the feed room so that if anybody coming back into work in the spring or, you know, they're going a little bit extra fresh, I've got something to give them because like I said, I keep my feed, like my grains, very low sugar, very low starch because my horses are quite sensitive to sugar. They get hot quite easily. So if anything, I just need to give them a little bit of extra easing off stuff. So I have it, not feeding it right now, but something kind of fun to talk about. One second. So Ollie brings himself in. No, you have to stay. He's taking a bit of a detour today. I wonder if he'll go. Sometimes he waits for me. Well, he's thinking about it. I've got the little red mist. Come on, Ollie. Got this spicy brat. You coming? Here we go. He made it. So the fashion is snowballs. Apparently. Snowballs are a part of... Let's see how close I can get without her assaulting me. Hey, buddy. So everybody outside is eating without argument. Well, that was well timed. The only problem with this one is she really doesn't like being in. She hates her stall. So I have to sit with her while she eats and I turn her out pretty much immediately when she's done because Oliver doesn't care if she leaves. Oliver only cares if Isabel leaves. So I leave those two big guys in, bring her in, feed her, and kick her right back out. And usually by the time she's done eating, the horses outside are done eating, so I can collect all the red buckets. When you have a low trough for a miniature horse that you have to fill every day and take ice out of because we don't have two heaters, and you have a trough that's completely, you know, thawed, why wouldn't you go for the slushy water? I don't know what's happening. Ferg. Okay. They're upset that I came back down and didn't feed them again, so I'm just gonna give them some extra carrots because I'm a sucker for ponies. You want a carrot? Just give him a carrot. He wants it. Oh, there's another nose. That nose wants a carrot. That nose wants a carrot too. They're monkeys. Oh, Isabel's coming. Isabel wants a carrot. The little one wants a carrot. The Chunky wants a carrot. Here, Chunky. Carrot. All he can have as many carrots as he wants, because he's special. You're naughty. All of you. The things I do for a blind horse who doesn't want to go near her friends. I walk through. Oh my god, it's so deep. I didn't want you guys to have to see what I was wearing, but holy mackerel. Oh my god, it's so deep. Whoa, look, that is my knee. I'm walking through knee-deep snow for this horse. The things I do for you. Here, hurry, take it. Ah! I'm surrounded. Hi. And 4. Okay, it's empty. It's gone. No. Animals. The lot of you. You can see Wilbur's ears over the snowbank. Yeah. Good talk, guys. So, to recap, not a vet, not a specialist, not a nutritionist, not sponsored. This is just what I feed. We've been feeding Blue Seal grain for 15 years. This is what I feed and what I find works for my horses. If you need any professional advice, contact your vet, a nutritionalist, anybody in your area that has some expertise in nutrition. So again, I feed Blue Seal grains. I've been feeding Blue Seal grain for about at least 15 years, if not longer. I feed the Sentinel Performance LS, extruded, high calorie, good fat, good fiber, low sugar, low starch. I feed the Carb Guard, again, good fiber, a balanced feed, just really nice addition to the feed program. I feed the Hay Stretcher, which is a good way for me to add fiber and bulk without increasing, sugar, crazy energy, anything like that. The Blue Seal Minavite Light is the vitamin mineral I use for the outside horses because my horses aren't being fed quite the recommended feeding. I like to make sure that their vitamin mineral is all balanced and complete so that they are nice and healthy. I also get the EquiJewel rice bran from my feed store. That's for calories for Oliver. I get stabilized ground flax also from my feed store. Really healthy omegas, healthy fats, good for coat condition, and other health benefits, so you can't go wrong with flax. I also have a canola corn oil for pretty much everybody. I love having oil in the horses' diets. It's just really good for them. For Mad Barn, which is relatively new to my feed program, but I absolutely adore it. I have fed the Mad Barn Visceral Plus. That was fed to Oliver when he had his little ulcer stint. Now that his tummy is under control, he is on the Optimum Digestive Health. I have the regular kind of like base probiotic for the other horses. I also have incorporated the Umneity vitamin mineral premix to the working horses routine. I really like it. It's super fortified. It is an awesome vitamin mineral, so my working horses are on that one. And I now use the Mad Barn W3 oil. Again, healthy omegas, healthy fats, DHA. It's balanced, stabilized, and it smells amazing. I also, in the summertime, use a Finish Line Apple a Day Electrolyte. That's just to keep all of their salts and sodiums and all that jazz up. And they are on 24/7 hay as much as they will eat when they will eat it. I get my pelleted, no molasses added beet pulp from my feed company, and I also get my Timothy premium hay cubes from my feed company. So really I just get my grains, some of the vitamin minerals, and the feed that I soak all from my feed company. I get pretty much everything else from Mad Barn, and in the summertime I just get the Finish Line Apple a Day from like my local Green Hawk or, you know, whatever tack shop I happen to be at in the spring that I need the electrolytes. So I will include links in the description below in case you guys are interested in checking out any of these products or companies for yourselves. And thank you so much for watching. Bye guys. So without further I'm going to talk about is you have some pretty snow. Okay. Woo!